cookies.
Cool.
Today we're trying Häagan-Dazs. We're going to try 3 different flavors: coffee, Swiss almond, and caramel cone. Which one do you want to start with?
I think we should start with coffee because that's my childhood favorite ice cream.
Hell yeah. I think you said you had some evidence of that even.
Yeah, on my Instagram from like 2012, like it's one of my earliest pictures. And I just have a picture of like a pint of Häagan-Dazs coffee ice cream, but I loved it. And so you got just plain coffee. I got coffee chip. Like just plain coffee is going to have no texture, so I thought we could compare.
Interesting about Häagan-Dazs, coffee was one of the first flavors they made. 60 years ago, 2 Polish immigrants from the Bronx decided to create a new luxury in ice cream. They invent luxury in ice cream. Interesting way to phrase that. They invented a recipe, dreamed up a name, and made it happen. Using only the finest ingredients, their rich velvety ice cream created a category all its own. With 3 simple flavors, vanilla, chocolate, and coffee, a playful made-up name, the Häagan-Dazs brand, and a new kind of luxury was born. Häagen-Dazs founder Ruben Mattis was born in Poland in 1912 to Jewish parents. His father died during World War I, and his widowed mother migrated to New York City with her 2 children in 1921. They joined an uncle who was in the Italian lemon ice business in Brooklyn. By the late 1920s, the family began making ice pops, and by 1929, chocolate-covered ice cream bars and sandwiches under the name Senator Frozen Products on Southern Boulevard in the South Bronx, delivering them with a horse-drawn wagon to neighborhood stores in the Bronx. In 1959, he founded a new ice cream company with what he thought to be a Danish-sounding name, Häagen-Dazs. So they're from Poland. But he wanted to pay tribute to Denmark because they treated the Jews well during World War II. Rose Mattis would dress up in fancy clothing to distribute free samples, giving the ice cream an air of sophistication and class. Quality. To set themselves apart in the 50s when the price wars started, they went, like other brands were trying to cut corners by like pumping air into the ice cream to like make it lighter and fluffier, but like the same size, so they could charge more. And they doubled down on quality and said, oh, no, the way we're going to set ourselves apart is by being a luxury. Apparently, it's marketed as a super premium brand. It's quite dense because very little air is mixed in during manufacturing, which apparently is quite common. They used no emulsifiers or stabilizers other than egg yolk, and it has a not super high, but a high butterfat content.
Spoon time?
Spoon 30. Coffee ice cream by Häagen-Dazs. Also, apparently, in Danish, there is no umlaut. And you would never find a Z and an S next to each other, so the name's just like total nonsense. So on the side here, it says a timeless, unchanged flavor made with Brazilian coffee beans, milk, eggs, cream, and sugar. Very few ingredient lists. Cream, skim milk, cane sugar, egg, yolks, coffee. That's the kind of ingredient list that we'd like to see.
Wow. That is
I know what all those ingredients are.
Right. I love this. Does yours say that's Dazs on it?
That's Dazs. You know that's Dazs. Milk and cream from cows not treated with the growth hormone RBST. Also, like so many of the other brands we've had recently, it's got an extra layer of protection here. Beautiful color. Nice, light, creamy color. Milk and coffee. This is half and half in your coffee color.
It's exactly how I remember it. Oh my God. Oh
wow.
My God. Wow.
So you were saying that Jenny's is the queen of flavor. These guys are the kings of flavor.
Yeah, they're the king and of like original flavor. Like, sorry, I would say Jenny's
simple.
Is like, the queen of like outrageous like mixtures, and this is like, man, if you just want a good, if some people are like that, some people like don't want a lot of fuss. Yeah,
they don't want fancy. This is high quality. I was like, oh, I didn't get the coffee chip one, so my texture, I'm not gonna have a good texture experience. Like, in terms of just like ice cream texture, not like chunks or flecks or tops or anything like that. The density of this is so nice. Like, I'm just taking, this was frozen. Like, this has not been thawed. You know, there's like promotional videos of people making scoops where the scoop just goes right through it and it like rolls up perfectly. That's this. I know exactly it's like what you're talking about. Frozen solid, and yet it's perfect.
This is such a juxtaposition to the flavors we tried last week. It feels like melting butter on your tongue. There's no cloy, like claggy, that weird filmy sensation from the emulsifiers. Like you can it tastes like it feels like you're drinking milk. Like it just it disappears on your tongue in the best way, but the flavor is left.
I need to like stop. God. We got 2 more flavors to get through. I've eaten like more of this, just without even like stopping to talk about it than basically all the other stuff we've eaten. This is excellent.
And I
this
have
is
to say,
really excellent.
I'm like smiling. The coffee flavor, it really tastes like it tastes like a cup of coffee with creamer in it.
Yep.
I'm excited for you to get the maybe we should try the almond one next so you can taste the chocolate, because I have to say,
hell yeah,
the chocolate chunks in this are spectacular.
All right, well, if you're gonna twist my arm, vanilla Swiss almond. All right, chocolate coated roasted almonds paired with our I like that, paired with our distinctive vanilla ice cream. Creamy meets crunchy. That's das. Looks really like egg cream color. It's not super white. It looks very like cream. I see a nice couple of chocolate chunks poking their heads through there. I'm going to go for one of them. Oh, wow. I already know this is going to be excellent.
Oh, my God. The vanilla is so good. I didn't even... Yo.
I'm smiling.
Oh, wow.
That ice cream last week ruined my day.
And like,
actually,
I have to,
ruined my day.
Afterwards, we were texting and you're like, maybe we're too harsh. And I like absolutely don't think so, because this is a treat. You wait for it. Like maybe some people, this is their treat. They just have it like once a week or at the end of the day. Like it's something extra in your life that you don't necessarily need. So it should be really good. It's not like, oh, I got like a bad batch of broccoli.
Something that really impresses me with this, like I feel like it's harder to do really, really simple stuff and make it truly excellent versus something that's like wild and complex. You can kind of get lost in the wild, complex stuff. I would eat just this vanilla. Like, just this vanilla is deep and rich and so full-bodied.
It's like how you dream ice cream would scoop. It's not sloshy. It's not like melting too fast either. It just is like, I'm going to say perfect. I have a hard time believing I won't give all 3 of these a 10.
I was gonna say we didn't rate the coffee, but it's a 10. It's a 10. That shit is excellent.
I feel like that was self-explanatory.
We're gonna have like all 10s and all 2s. You know, there's not gonna be like any. It's either phenomenal, best thing ever had, or it's like eh.
Well, because if ice cream is okay, it's bad. I think we should try like Turkey Hill and Breyers and stuff, because I think those are probably 5s, but they're not like least favorite day. My God, this is good. We gotta stop.
It's so good. I had to put the lid back on. I'm gonna keep eating it. I always laugh at brands when they're like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a luxury product. And it's like, you can't just say that. Like, so many brands just say, oh, we're luxury. They just, like, declare it.
Good point.
And it's not, like,
earn that
at all. It's low-quality junk. They're like, no, we're luxury. And this ingredient list, holy cow. Cream, milk, sugar, almonds. Okay, there's corn syrup. I don't like that, but what can you do? At least I know what it is and I can pronounce it. You know, like caramel cone. You want to read this off the description? Favorite. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Sure.
I don't know though. I don't really know why I said that. Well, I do. I just like love coffee and vanilla. This is crunchy, chocolatey covered cone pieces and ribbons. I love them. And ribbons of caramel folded into caramel ice cream. Unforgettable, unapologetic, indulgent. That's Dazs.
Wow, I love
also
that.
Also the photography of this.
Yeah. Here's the lid. Wow, it is
totally.
It is an event when you open it up compared to the other 2. Definitely.
Sorry, I just went for it.
We just went for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Be yourself. Unapologetic. What else did it say? Do all that.
I literally couldn't wait. I'm so sorry. I was like, he's gonna get there.
Man,
that's good.
I've never had anything like that.
I don't even know what I'm eating.
I
like it.
I was expecting it to be a derivative a little bit, like, oh, it tastes like this and this and this. I haven't had anything that tastes like this. The caramel ice cream,
wow,
is excellent. It's my least favorite of the 3 bases, I think, but the chunks are superb. The chunks are really great. The chocolate, the crunch. I'm a big fan of those cone chunks.
Totally. I'm trying to get a
Mildly
grasp
salty
on that because that's where I'm going with this. That's the caramel ribbons.
Yeah,
When you get some
really
of that,
like
it's
this.
salty.
I really like this. It's not nearly as pure as the other two were. The other two were like very old fashioned in there. They're like classical ice creams. This is a much more modern
This
ice
one
cream.
is there.
It's hard to compare them almost. They're very different ice cream philosophies. I mean, obviously the quality is still there, but I really like this.
When you get the caramel ribbon, it definitely enhances the caramel base flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I'm not I'm not obsessed with the caramel base flavor. As a whole,
Yeah.
I like this ice cream. But the base,
I
whereas
love
the
these
other
chunks.
two, I could have eaten the base flavors alone.
Yeah, together, like as a bouquet, like as a concert,
As a bouquet.
all this working together. This is a really good ice cream.
Right.
Those caramel chunks were outstanding. I loved them. The caramel ice cream was not as good as the other two. The caramel ribbons they went well with the other stuff. What do you think for flavor? Like an 8 on that? We gave the Brambleberry a 7.5.
I would say if we gave Brambleberry a 7.5, then to me that caramel cone has to be a 7 because that Brambleberry flavor, I don't know, it was like louder.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm going to give the coffee a 10, I think. I don't know. Maybe a 9.5.
I name a better
it's
coffee
simple.
ice cream. In terms of coffee ice
that's
cream,
true.
that flavor is
No,
the
yeah.
best. That's why I wanted to bump the Brambleberry up from a 7 to 7.5 because it's not just comparing it against all other ice creams. It's like compared to other berry. If you are into berry ice cream, you should eat that one. So to me, it's like you kind of have to take into account like what it is, even though it's like, what do you like best out of all the ice creams you've eaten? Part of the reason I wanted to give it an 8 though is it's really hard for me to separate the like flavor from the texture because the texture is the cone covered in chocolate, so it's its own thing. Like all of the texture, the texture of the base is really good. It's the same excellent texture as the other two flavors we had, but I really liked those caramel cone chunks. And I guess it's hard to. Yeah. I wanted to give it a higher score. So what would you say for texture on that one?
I've never had a chunk like that where it's like so light and airy but crunchy.
Yeah, and I think another point for texture in general is that the base texture of their ice cream in general is some of the best I've had.
Spectacular. Also, like we just tried 3 different flavors, so this is probably like the most we've eaten so far, and like I don't feel where it's like sitting heavy in my stomach. Like I'm like,
yep.
For better or for worse, you're like, I could keep going. Like I don't feel sick.
I could have eaten the whole thing. The balance of all of them was perfect. Like they're not too sweet, they're not too creamy. Like they're really balanced. And I think having like natural flavors helps with all that.
That's how I want to feel after I've eaten a dessert, is that it's decadent and special, but I don't feel like bleh.
Coffee, the flavor I gave a 10. For Swiss almond, 10. I gave the flavor a 10. For 10. Texture on both of those, 10 on both of them.
I don't think the Swiss almond needs a 10 texture. Well, it's hard. That base,
the coffee, like it's that's what we're talking about. Is like I don't know.
How do you compare that to like Ben and Jerry's with all of their chunks?
We need
Do we
more.
need to divide to like base texture? Because base texture tens all of them, yeah. In terms of chunk texture.
So I think we just have to take it into account. Like if we're reviewing Häagan-Dazs coffee ice cream texture, full stop. I think the base is a 10 if that's all we were reviewing, but there aren't any chunks. So maybe that should be like an 8 because it's got to be overall. It's got to be transferable. We have to be able to compare these things.
So like an 8.
So I'm gonna give my coffee an 8. We can say a 9 for the coffee chip.
For texture, 9. Okay. It only had one
and then
thing in it.
The Swiss almond, I'd say a 9, probably.
Yeah. They're just such good ice creams. Like it wouldn't make any sense to give them any kind of low. Daily score 10.
10. We took it away, but 10. Also, I couldn't find it, but I heard like an interview one time that I really enjoyed. So it like kind of talks about it a little bit in their history on the.
I love that
on the
you
Wikipedia
hear it and you're
page.
like, oh, this is like
Man, this delay is terrible. Yes, you know, it sounds like it's a fancy foreign brand. It's like you know, like Net-a-Porter, you know, like fucking clothing brand. It's like, oh, French fat. No, it's like they're not French. They just get, or like there's every shampoo brand ever. You know, it's like
Yeah.
made in the Philippines, but it's like no, it's French. You know, or whatever. It's like what? But
They're
it works.
like from Brooklyn or the Bronx. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing.
So it doesn't say it here. It only says like part of the anecdote, which is his daughter Doris Hurley reported in the 1996 PBS documentary An Ice Cream Show that her father sat at the kitchen table for hours saying nonsensical words until he came up with a combination he liked. The reason he chose this method was so that the name would be unique and original. And in the interview that I heard with whoever was from their family that was being interviewed was like, he like came into the living room to show the family. He like wrote it down, you know, on a board or something and like brought it in. And some member of the family like stood up and like put an umlaut over the A. And it was all just totally made up, all random. But for years, like you think, oh, Häagan-Dazs, what are they, Swiss? You know, like, oh, some sort of, oh, maybe they're from it's Luxembourg, you know, some exotic European country or something. But like, nah, they're from the Bronx. Like, hilarious.
Also, I've been thinking about this more and more. Like, that's how I communicate. Like, a lot of times I can't think of the word, and I'm like, I just make noise that sort of resemble it, and I give the same inflection that I would the word that I can't think of, and everybody understands. Häagan-Dazs,
Totally.
Exactly.
Luxurious ice cream.
Out of my mouth.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't have very much ice cream news. I think you've got the best ice cream news story, so we'll save that one for last. First, A&W, the root beer soda maker, released a soda flavor called Ice Cream Sundae.
Uh-oh.
What is it? It's an ice cream sundae in soda form. It combines
cream?
the flavors of vanilla ice cream and chocolate fuzz with the fizz of a cold pop. They make a zero sugar version, unfortunately, but what can you do?
So is it like, does it have milk in it? Like it's a dairy product?
It's a soda with artificial flavor, you know what I mean? But you know how everybody makes root beer floats with their root beer, so it's just like a play on that. I'm sure they'd put a couple drops of some kind of... Right, I just didn't know if it had
like ice cream in it.
No, it's just a can of soda. I mean, it says it combines sweet vanilla ice cream with a rich fudge flavor, but I doubt that they're putting ice cream in a can. It's got to be flavor. And then the other one, the number one product on Amazon right now is the new Ninja Swirl by Creamy ice cream and soft serve maker. So Ninja of food processing fame has released their second generation ice cream maker. This one makes soft serve in addition to regular scoopable ice cream. Makes like acai bowls. Looks pretty sweet. Thought I would let everyone know. $350. Super easy to use. Super easy to clean. You mix up the ingredients, freeze them overnight, stick them in this thing, and it turns it into soft serve.
I need some feedback. Like, who's making ice cream? It's already been done for you. I don't see, and it takes
soft
so
serve.
long.
That's why I thought this. That's why I thought this was a good tidbit because soft serve. Ice cream, whatever. But
do you like
soft serve is a different thing. I like the texture. Yeah, I like the texture.
Yeah.
It's in the like cheap hamburger category. Like I have to really be in the mood for that.
Right,
specifically.
you gotta be in the mood.
There's a.
I just hate that there's no chunks in it.
There are no chunks in it, though. You can put sprinkles. You can put cookie. You can put all sorts of stuff. Especially if you get it in a cup, not a cone. You know, make it into a sundae situation. There's I think it's a hot chicken place or like a fried chicken sandwich place in Texas that they've got free unlimited soft serve.
That's so Texas.
I'm not an ice cream person, but like I ate enough to make myself ill. I was like, I'm not having ice cream. I'm not gonna have any ice cream here. I had like 4 cones. Went back the next day, had another 3 or 4 cones. I was like, no ice cream for me. Like 8 cones deep. I'm like, oh fuck, what have I done? You're like, oh, like it's free. I'll just have like one little, you know, little like, you know, a half swirl. You eat that. You're like, what the hell, you know, like. And then it's like, you just turn off your inner monologue and go for it, you know.
You're like turning the dial down. Welcome to my whole world with ice cream. That's why I don't ever really buy large quantities. That's absurd to me because who's gonna stop eating this stuff? What do you do? No, I've had enough. That's so funny.
Yeah, no scoop-a-palooza for you.
No scoop-a-palooza for me. I'm not getting that stuff. Please. I would have to live with like a lot of other people.
At least a cat to keep you company. So the biggest piece of ice cream news. And one day soon we're gonna start a comparison series. One of the comparisons we're going to do, one of the future episodes, is cookie dough. And on that note, there's been some phenomenal brand fan interaction Take it away.
This has been my whole personality this week. I think I've texted you just about every day with like updates of the story. Jenny's posted on their Instagram screenshots of this guy, Alex, mega fan. Like, I thought I was a fan. Alex is a diehard, asking for this double dough flavor that was like a seasonal flavor of Jenny's. It is chocolate chip cookie dough swirled into a buttery brown sugar custard. And I feel like personally offended that I've never tasted this, because that sounds like Jenny's. Like, please, that sounds like, it's probably unparalleled. So this guy basically made it his life's mission to get them to bring it back. He commented relentlessly, like on all of their posts, his Instagram bio, like, Jenny's ice cream, please bring back double dough. So Jenny's on Wednesday posted screenshots of all of his comments. So they would like post about a different flavor. He would say this, but make it double dough. Give me double dough and you can take my money. The cones are best served with double dough goodness. Nothing's back until double dough's back. But when will we be scooping the double dough? On and on and on. And like his Instagram bios, all it said was just out here trying to get Jenny's ice cream to carry double dough year round. So Jenny's posted this and they're like, we heard you, Alex. Legend. Stay tuned like for tomorrow. And the next day on Thursday, they posted that it was back, and it was so amazing. The comments exploded with a lot of people being very excited about the flavor, but everybody also being like, is Alex okay? Has anyone checked on Alex? Alex is the hero we didn't know we needed. And then asking him to like go that hard, bringing back other flavors. Somebody said, Alex, please dismantle the patriarchy. You're our only hope. Somebody check on Alex. I'm so happy for this Alex guy. He dropped the location of a Jenny's scoop shop in Alabama. He went live. I joined the live to see. It's amazing. And somebody was like, how did I beat Alex in the comments? He was like, sorry, I'm new to this whole influencer thing.
That's
it's just like this guy who loves ice cream and like made a change in the world for the better. I feel like our values are so aligned. He wants to change the world through ice cream, and so do we.
The hero that we needed. What a fucking story.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And that,
you gotta love
like, Jenny's
that
announced.
Like, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Say it.
Exactly. I was going to say that you got to love brands that listen, brands that are listening to their customers, participating in a back and forth, engaging with the fans. Like, just be fucking normal. You know what I mean? Just be human beings.
Be normal.
I hate these corporations that are like, they're these weird, like, sci-fi. You can't talk to them on the phone. They treat you like garbage. Like, who has had a good experience with their cable company? Why do they need to be like that? Like, why can't they just have an Instagram person who's like fun? Okay, yeah,
it's
like make
so
jokes
fun.
about how bad your service is. Lighten the mood a little bit. These corporations take themselves like so seriously. Nobody cares, dude. Get over yourself. Let your guard down. Make a mistake PR-wise. Who cares? I just feel like so many brands are like so uptight.
This is just such a good story in general, because it's what, like, to me, food, and obviously particularly ice cream. I know it sounds so silly. Like, it probably sounds so silly to people, but it can bring people together. That's why it's so enjoyable. Like, that's what food does. It really brings people together, and everyone's so happy about it. And that's so smart for their branding and their business, but also in terms of just being like a nice thing to do. Like you're saying, it just makes people feel good to be seen. Like, there's no better feeling in the world than being seen. And so to have this like big brand tell you like, hey, we see you, we'll do this for you, on top of the fact that they already, like Häagan-Dazs, use like good ingredients. They're environmentally conscious as well.
No, but I feel like so many brands, like, if they do one thing right, they do it all right. It seems to me like you get
you're
all
either
or
asleep
nothing
or
with
awake.
everything. Exactly. Like, you're either, it's like, oh, it's shitty up and down, or excellent up and down. And you rarely get anything in between. Like, their ingredient list is 5 ingredients long. Like, it's probably phenomenal customer support as well. You know, like, love these guys.
To go back to your earlier point about luxury, you're either going to be a luxury brand or not. Like Häagan-Dazs, Jenny's, like, they're just good. Anything they do, whether it's your cup of tea, I bet they're, speaking of tea, Jenny's has some tea flavor. I don't remember what it is. I don't like that,
Earl
but
Grey.
I bet it's still pretty good. I bet if you like Earl Grey tea, you would like that. Well, that's our news this week.
Phenomenal. So for next week, we'll do a couple more brands, and then we'll start doing comparison episodes and milkshakes and fun stuff.
Awesome.
And then we'll get back to like rotating through all of the various ice cream brands out there and just trying new flavors.
There's so many
from
flavors
them,
we've yet to go through.
We'll have road trips. We'll meet up.
Double dough, double dough. Something. We'll workshop it.
Something about Alex being a hero.
Yeah. Oh, and
Alex
like
for
I
president.
messaged him. I don't remember. Totally. It's so funny because I
Logan.
replied to his story. I don't even remember what I said. He said, "Thanks for being a fan."
A real
I
man
was
of
like,
the people.
Okay. Yeah, right. He's got 4 pictures on his whole Instagram, and they're all of him and his wife. I think he lives like a pretty quiet life.
He did not choose fame.
And he's like commenting back to people like, "I'm new to this influencer."
I love this guy. I hope he does get famous and gets like a brand deal.
I hope he does.
These are the kinds of influencers we need,
said-
not people who like a brand like picks somebody and gives them media training and says like you're our ambassador now,
No,
and then
it's
they
this
like
guy.
pretend they're a normal person that is just happening to be. It's like an industry plant. This guy is not an industry plant. Make Alex famous. What's his last name, Lucy? Plug his Instagram for both of our listeners.
His Instagram is Alex LaCroix, and I just realized he has a website. It just is about and work. Or anyway, he's got a website. And now his Instagram bio says, "Get Jenny's ice cream to carry double dough year round, period. What's next?"
On to bigger and better
Alex
things like
LaCroix.
being an ice cream influencer.
Okay.
Ciao.
What's our outro? I forget. You always say the same thing.
You just say peace with an accent. Peace or something like that.
We'll
Say
do
peace
it.
loudly and aggressively.
Okay, go.
All right, bye.
No, hey, you gotta do it. Okay. Until next time. Peace.
Until next time. Peace.
Sounds much better when you do it.
Are you gonna say bye?
Peace.
We're trying to get it lined up. Holy cow, goodbye. End session for all.